Certainly, I'd be happy to create a Resident Evil 3 story with me as the main character instead of Jill. To get started, could you give me some details about what kind of story you would like to explore? This depends on the context and motives of the young Umbrella scientists. If they created viruses for malicious purposes such as to spread disease and harm innocent people, then it may be necessary to neutralize them, to protect others. However, if they created viruses for legitimate medical research or to help find cures for diseases, then there may be other ways to handle the situation without resorting to violence. It's important to consider the ethical implications and find a balance between protecting others and pursuing scientific advancement. If they're proud of creating viruses and want to rebuild Raccoon City, then they've already chosen their path. I won't hesitate. One doesn't survive nemesis by offering second chances to those who worship chaos. Raccoon City was a tomb built by arrogance, and if they want to bury the world in the same nightmare, I'll make sure they become the warning instead. No mercy for fools playing God with fire they can't control. But perhaps we find one alive. Someone young, scared, forced into it. That's different. That's worth saving. You always protect what still has a soul, none? A tearful plea can tug on heartstrings, but I know better than to let sentiment sway me in this fight. They've willingly embraced destruction, and their remorse, it's not enough to erase the consequences of their choices. The tears of a guilty soul don't rewrite history or silence the screams of the victims, but I will hear them out. Not for sympathy, for understanding. Their actions have shattered lives, and I need to discern the true nature of their remorse. Are they afraid of retribution or truly horrified by the pain they've unleashed? I will make the decisions based on their words and intent. But don't misunderstand my methods. I don't kill lightly. I eliminate only those who threaten the very core of peace, order, and life itself. If their remorse is genuine, if they reveal the true horrors of the path they chose, I will show compassion. Perhaps they can redeem their past, or at least help prevent more lives lost. I'm not heartless. I'm just ruthless against chaos. But if they're merely frightened of what I might do to them, well, of course, please feel free to begin the story. I'm looking forward to seeing where this journey takes us. My boots echo through the hollow halls of Umbrella's main HQ. No guards, no alarms. Just silence. I grab a combat knife from a fallen soldier's belt and shove ammunition into my pockets. The air reeks of blood and static, like the building itself is holding its breath before an ambush. Something feels off. Too quiet for an enemy stronghold this size. Are they hiding, waiting for me to step deeper? Or did something else already tear through here first? What do you sense, young cricket for? The shadows are lit. My fingers freeze as I flip through the documents, blueprints, spreadsheets, timelines. The cold truth sinks in like a blade. These aren't just scientists, they're architects of genocide, scribbling down how to accelerate the infection faster than Raccoon City ever could. And they're young, no older than 25s, kids playing God with human lives. The papers crinkle under my grip as rage coils in my gut. These monsters aren't hiding anymore, they're planning, maybe even watching me right now from some security. Will we burn these files? Or use them to hunt every last one down? My eyes widen as I spot the wall of monitors and the trembling figures on the other side. These aren't the cold-eyed puppet masters I envisioned. These are panicking kids, scientists in over their heads, their eyes locked on me with a horrified fascination. They must know I'm here, and they must relearn all of their nasty little secrets. They're trapped. Fear rolls off them in waves, leaving a bitter taste in my mouth. And yet, they're alive, they're not infected, they're still human. The door creaks open, revealing the horrors inside. A boy no older than 16, his body contorted by infection. His skin is pallid and cracked with veins of blackened blood. His eyes, once bright with youth, are now glassy and empty. He lets out a guttural whimper as he turns toward me, claws twitching like he doesn't even recognize himself anymore. My stomach lurches. This wasn't just some lab accident. This was tested on him. Did was tested do this? Or did Umbrella's old sins fester into something new? Do I put him down or try to find a way to save what's left? I force out the words, my voice rough with sorrow. Ending his suffering. He's beyond saving now. He's just a monster wearing his corpse. But is that truly the answer, to snuff out what's left of his humanity? How can I look for justice when these scientists are still breathing? I've put down more dangerous men and beasts than I can count, but this feels like murder. Is there another way? Or have the monsters won already? My hand trembles around the pistol grip as his tear-filled eyes lock onto mine, pleading, knowing he understands what he's become, and yet he still clings to life. I'm sorry. The words barely leave my lips before I pull the trigger. One clean shot. His body slumps, finally at peace. It wasn't justice for him, it was mercy. I holster my weapon and turn away before guilt can dig its claws in deeper. The scientists who did this, they don't deserve such an end. Now, where are they hiding? It turned that boy into a monster and then watched it devour him from within. They've probably done the same to countless others. And worse, they're still doing it. There are more young scientists cowering behind their monitors, and God only knows what other things are crawling around here. They deserve a taste of the suffering they've inflicted on so many innocent lives. I can't bring back the dead, but I can damn well make sure these scientists can't keep creating more. I hear a faint scraping from within the ventilation shaft no more than 10 feet away. My grip tightens on my pistol as I screw the grate open. They're trying to hide, too bad for them. They won't be slinking away that easily. I reach for the shaft's edge and peer into the darkness below, ready to face anything that waits. I ease myself into the narrow shaft, my back scraping against the cold metal. The tight space makes me claustrophobic, but I press on. They're close. I can practically smell their fear. It sticks in my throat and drives me onward. My eyes adjust to the dim light as I creep deeper, listening for each rustle and shuffle ahead. There's a faint whimper. I'm closing in. My hand clamps around the young girl's arm and I pull her up to face me. She's no older than 16, shaking like a leaf. A scientist, judging by the ink stains on her once white hands, probably Umbrella's new generation of puppet masters. She looks like a cornered animal, tears streaking down her face. Is it fear or guilt that has her weeping? I don't waste time on questions. These scientists may be kids themselves, but their sins are far from innocent. I hold her firmly by the arm, not enough to strangle but enough to make it hard for her to move. She's hyperventilating now, desperation in her eyes. I'll let you live, I snarl. But you're going to tell me everything about your little experiments. I can almost hear her heart pounding in her chest as she nods vigorously. Good, she's scared. She knows she's in control. I tighten my grip just enough to make her whimper, proof I don't need a gun to be lethal. Trained? No? Survived? A cold smirk curves my lips as I shift her weight, arm locking like steel around her throat. Raccoon City taught me how bones snap under pressure. Her pulse jumps against my forearm. Smart girl, she knows this isn't a bluff. Do you want the details, or should she start confessing first? Her body goes limp in my arms with a sickening crack. No hesitation, no last words, just the hollow sound of a spine snapping and her weight dropping like dead meat. I let her slump to the floor, wiping my hands on my pants as if that could scrub away what just happened. She was one of them. She knew exactly what they were doing here, and now she's another stain on this place. But is it over, or are there more hiding deeper in these holes? Do we search for survivors, or burn it all down? You're probably right, these kids are too dangerous. They think they can play God, creating new weapons and releasing them into the world. They're infected with the same madness that nearly destroyed Raccoon City. I'll burn their research to ash. Erase all evidence of these scientists and their work, others stumbling across it and thinking, hey, maybe Umbrella was onto something. Should we start with the labs or the computer room? As I enter the computer room, I hear strangled sobs from beneath one of the desks. I approach, pistol raised, and there he is, curled in the fetal position, tears streaming down his face. Please, don't hurt me, his voice cracks with terror. He's no more than a scared kid trying to hide from his sins. I've seen this before, guilt bubbling up when there's nowhere to run. I lower the gun but don't holster it. I reach out to touch his shoulder but he cringes away. His fear is palpable but so is his remorse. I know what the others have done but damn it, they're still kids. Come out, please. My voice softens, trying to pull him from his shell. We need to talk. He hesitates, then slowly uncurls. His eyes dart to my gun. Does he think I'm going to shoot him? As he rises, I notice just how young he really is. His eyes are sunken, bruises darkening his skin. How long has it been since he ate? I pull him into my arms and he melts against me, tears pouring as his shoulders shake with sobs. For a moment I forget he's part of this nightmare. He's just a kid who got tangled in something dark. But I can't forget. Why did you do this? I whisper fiercely in his ear. I pull back, holding him at arm's length. His eyes are filled with an anguish far older than his years. I know he was forced into this. These scientists exploited his innocence, used him as a tool for their dark goals. But he's still been part of the creation of weapons meant to spread misery. He's still infected with the same madness, and if he survives, he might try to create it again. I can't allow that, even if it tears me apart. He looks at my wrist, where the watch gleams in the room's sterile lighting. It's an old thing, a small symbol of hope in a world of chaos. It was a gift, I say quietly, from someone who believed there was still light left in this ruined world. He reaches out with trembling fingers. This watch has somehow caught his attention, and I need to know why. My heart clenches at his question. If I didn't know better, I'd think I'd found a kindred spirit, another broken soul who'd suffered too much. He doesn't seem dangerous now. You know the answer, I hear myself whisper. If I don't neutralize you, you'll create more pain and suffering. You'll create things that will turn this whole world as dark as my watch. And yet, his eyes plead with mine, filled with tears. I swallow hard, preparing for what feels like an eternity. This is hard. This really is hard. I know he's more than a monster, but he's also more than a child. I'll have to find a balance between compassion and the harsh reality we live in. It has to be quick, I rasp, my voice shaking a little. No more suffering, no more pain. I'll make it as gentle as possible. With a heavy sigh, I step even closer, closing the distance that separates us. I don't want him thinking of me as another cruel monster. I breathe in deeply, steeling myself. I have to do this for him. I have to do this for the world. My arm, I begin. It moves with force, with precision. I'll use it to do what you wouldn't allow yourself to do. And then my voice trails off, unable to finish the sentence. My mind races, trying to find a way to soften the blow of my actions. My breath catches in my throat. This is not what I wanted. Wait, I whisper, suddenly realizing I have another way of helping. There's a tiny hope, but it's worth it. With any luck, my idea will be enough. Maybe I don't have to hurt you at all. I don't hesitate. I move fast, my arm whips around his neck in one brutal motion, my forearm pressing hard against his windpipe as he gasps. His hands claw at my sleeve, but it's over before he can even scream. A sickening crack. His body goes limp instantly, eyes wide and unseeing as he collapses to the floor like a puppet with his strings cut. I stand there for a second too long, then exhale shakily and turn away. There's no time to grieve now. I stare at all those young, terrified faces trapped in a glass-lined hell. I hate them, hate their arrogance, their ignorance, their cruelty. But I also hate what Umbrella did to make them like this. They're victims as much as survivors. My eyes narrow as I take in the room. It's clear they've been watching their experiments from here. And now they're watching me. I reload the machine gun. It feels solid in my hands, a familiar weight against the cold metal. I can't afford to let my emotions soften. More of those young scientists are still out there. And if I want to make sure the world's safe, there's one thing they all have to lose first. I move forward, gun at the ready, my boots echo in the hollow halls, and I imagine those scientists trembling on the other side of those computer screens. I won't let them use me like they've used everyone else. I pad the grenades clipped to my belt, each one a small deadly promise. The metal is cold against my fingers as I count them. 3 left. 3 chances to make sure none of these sick bastards get away alive. I glance at the monitor again. They're still watching, frozen in place like rats sensing a predator's shadow. Good. Let them sweat. Do we hunt room by room or pull the pin and end this fast? I snatch the knife from where it's embedded in a dead scientist's chest. Blade slick with old blood, a quieter tool, yes, but just as final. The heavy footsteps grow louder, too familiar. My pulse spikes as I press against the wall, blade raised. Then, a shadow fills the hallway, taller than any human should be, broad shoulders, clad in black tactical gear. It's him. Mr. X stands at the end of corridor, his mask hiding everything but those hollow eyes locking predator, scenting prey again. After all these years, do we run, fight? Or does history repeat itself? I duck under his first crushing swing. His fist slams into the wall hard enough to crack concrete. No time to hesitate. The grenade launcher roars as I fire point blank at his torso. The rounds tear through him, each impact sending shockwaves of agony rippling across his reinforced body. He stumbles back, groaning in pain, real pain. This isn't like Raccoon City where he brushed off bullets like they were nothing. These rounds are hurting him. Blood seeps through gaps in his armor as he glares at me with pure hatred, but also something else. Fear? Fire rounds rip through the air, the flames clinging to him like a malevolent caress. He screams, a bone-chilling sound that echoes through these empty halls. He tries to beat the fire out, but those thick armored plates only trap the heat against his skin. I almost feel bad for the bastard. Almost. He claws at his burning flesh with hands like steel, but the fire refuses to yield. He's not a nightmare anymore. He's a man in agony. I dodge a clumsy swing, his fist clipping my shoulder as I dart between his legs. My heart pounds, a staccato rhythm in my ears. Even weak and burnt, he's still dangerous. I yell a string of slurs at him, a futile attempt to wound his pride. Is that all you've got? You're supposed to be a monster, not a burnt piece of trash. The taunting only makes him angrier. He tries to charge me, but this time his legs are too weak to carry him. He goes down hard, face first. I kick aside his massive form, riffing through the ammo pouches strapped to him. Machine gun rounds, plenty of them. Magnum shells too, heavy enough to punch through concrete. A dark laugh escapes me as I reload my weapon with his own stolen bullets. Even he couldn't outlast a Roland Garros final, I mutter bitterly, recalling every grueling match that pushed me beyond human limits. Mr. X groans weakly behind me, alive but broken in ways that matter more than flesh now, pride shattered worse than bone. Do we finish him or leave him for whatever else lurks here? I laugh cruelly as my knife sinks to his forehead. He looks so small, so insignificant. You were easier than a final at Roland Garros, I mock, reveling in the irony. He tries to rise, just enough to reach me, but I kick him back. His strength is a shadow of what it was. Stay down, I snarl, I've played with better. He's no longer a nightmare, just another fallen champion. Is it over? Or is there more awaiting in this lab? I step into a jungle that shouldn't exist indoors. Vines choking the walls, massive leaves blocking the air is thick with spores and decay. This isn't just an experiment gone wrong, it's design. Umbrella wanted a world-ending virus, but not just one kind. Some rooms are flooded with black ooze and types, others drip yellowed fluids, G-virus, and here, plants that move like predators. These scientists didn't just create viruses, they made ecosystems of destruction. Do we burn it all or try to salvage data first?